Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Tyler.
And I'm Luke.
And we're here with the 4th episode of Holy Heck, I Really Like Love Live, where we're going to be looking in depth at the entire Love Live discography from the beginning until now. So last time we went over Prontops and Charon's first singles, and today we're going to be continuing our first subunit block. So that's going to be moving on to BiBi and Guilty Kiss. Another quick note on pronunciation. Oh no. I feel like we got to do this at the start of every episode. We got a comment last time saying that the group's name was actually pronounced Aqua as opposed to Aquas. And honestly, getting the word Aqua out of the way it's spelled, like Acors, is already kind of a stretch. We know obviously the direct Japanese pronunciation is Aqua, but we're not exactly too sure if there's any a right or wrong way to say it in English. So I think we're going to be carrying on with Aquas for now. I don't know. I don't think we're too wrong, and we hope it doesn't bother you.
Semantics are stupid.
I agree. So yeah, let's move on to the discussion real quick. Last time we asked everybody which group they liked more, and this was pretty one-sided. Group they liked more is in Prontops versus Charon.
I was kind of surprised by this. I was kind of surprised by how one-sided it was.
Yeah, one-sided in the fact that nobody said they prefer Prontops.
Yeah, there's a few people that were like, oh yeah, before the last, the newest Charon single, I would have said Prontops, but now with the new one out, it's got to be Charon. Like I was pretty surprised that no Muse boys came out of the rafters and were like, hey, we're still here, it's not dead.
So we got two comments to talk about. We got Blazing Blitz V2. I think you were the highlighted comment in our last video too.
Dude, what a guy.
That's the perks MVP. Of having 4 fans. They say Charon most definitely. They're my 3 favorite Aqua members. Me too. And I really like their voices and how they work together. And I find it oddly satisfying. Yo's high notes and key rhyme makes me smile every time I listen to it, and Yo's voice in general makes me smile. Yep, same here.
That's true.
I feel the same way about Ruby. These subunits were very hit or miss for me, with mostly misses. I feel like I wrote this comment. Though when they do hit it, they hit it hard. Prontops just lacks consistency for me. Oh yeah,
I feel that. I can agree with that. Like something that I've said a lot about. I don't know if I ever said it on the show, but something I say a lot about just like Muse versus Aquas in general is Muse had higher highs and lower lows.
Yeah, you said that last episode.
Yeah, okay. And I can definitely say the same thing about the subunits. It carries over for the subunits, except with the exception of Lily White. Like, there's a lot of really great BiBi and Prontops songs, but there's a lot of like pretty bad BiBi and Prontops songs. Now I don't feel that way about Lily White. Like every Lily White song's perfect for me, but we'll get to them later. Ooh, I'm excited. We'll get to them in the next episode.
And the second comment is from Adrian Tionko. Sorry about that if I messed that up. For me, I like Charon better overall. In their initial tracks, I might give the slight edge to Prontops due to Love Marginal. Okay, I think Charon has better synergy group singing wise, and less redundancy in the roles of the group. Right. Okay. Forcing Hanayo from her natural tone and Yo's potential are my deciding factor of choosing them over Prontops. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Yo's potential is like sky high. I'm super excited to see a couple of the members from Aqua see what they end up becoming in the future.
Right, and my whole thing, I mean, I feel like if you've been watching up to this point, you know about my raging anger / sadness for Hanayo's voice change. P.S. Aside from Love Marginal and No Exit Orion, Unbalanced Love is another song from Prontops that is not necessarily on the bubbly, cutesy side of their discography. Yeah, what do you got to say to that, Luke?
Yeah, that's fair. But that also goes back to the fact that like there's a lot of Muse subunit songs which are almost forgettable. Even though I love them to death and like loved Muse before I loved Aquas, but like. There are some songs that are on the forgettable side. For me, Unbalanced Love is one of those songs, but it's a good song. It's just something that flew over the cuckoo's head. Flew over the cuckoo's head. That's a saying.
Close enough. Yeah, kind of. So let's move on over to the news. And we just missed something huge that happened last week.
Yeah, we recorded on Wednesday, and I think it came out Friday.
I think Thursday actually.
Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
We missed it by one day.
Yeah.
Landing Action, yeah. Landing Action, yeah, which is the song that came out around a month ago, maybe a little bit less. release solo mixes, and that's a huge deal because Aqua's hasn't had a solo mix yet for all their members.
We should have been more careful about it because like the preview for the song came out weeks ago. We just completely forgot about it. I think it came out on the 30th, so that would have been Friday or Thursday. And it's pretty cool to see that they release solo mixes on the CD as well.
So what do you got to say about that, Luke? Do you have any in particular that you really like?
The solo mixes were really good. The three that I like expect great solo things out of had really great solo things, like Hanamaru, Yo, and Yoshiko. I expected really good things from, and they were all really good. Daya's was really good. I'm usually not a huge fan of Daya's solo voice, but hers was really good. But I think just like favorite to listen to, it's probably going to either Kanan or Mari, or Kanan or Ruby. Those two I really enjoy listening to those two.
And you said the only one that you really didn't prefer out of all of them was Chica's. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just I really like Chica's voice. But if I had to choose a least favorite and one that I would listen to the least, it would probably be Chica's.
So
what about you?
Yeah, as the resident Ruby fan, I'm so ridiculously excited that we're not falling down the Hanayo trap here. Not to talk about this every single episode, but I was so... You know that one picture that's like no fear? Like the guy has the no fear shirt and then like someone walks by and then they have the one fear shirt? My no fear, one fear was the fact that Ruby was just going to be forced into character voice and Fururin wouldn't have an opportunity to sing like she did in Landing Action Yeah. But judging by the fact that she sang like she did in Landing Action Yeah, that fear is slowly but surely fading out, and I'm so happy that they let Ruby sing like a human being and not just a 5-year-old. I was actually really surprised. Like everyone always talks about Yoshiko, like Yoshiko's always super popular and everything, but just the universal love for Hanamaru's solo mix, just everyone keeps talking about it, and it's really good.
Yeah, I think it was probably the best, like just in vocal like ability. It was really good.
So my favorite is Ruby's. I mean, I can't not say Ruby. I've been waiting for a Ruby solo song since the dawn of time. The best though, probably I can't really choose between Hanamaru and Yo. I mean, those are two of my like fan favorite voices anyway. So I think those two are the best.
Yeah, you can't really.
But I also think that their voices are. I also think they're two of the best voices in Aqua's. So.
Yeah. I know when we were sitting around listening to them all together, you and I when we were listening to all of them, the little thing they shout right before the final instrumental solo. To mention we were trying to guess what they were going to say. I think we got a few right. We got like the obvious
Daya's ones right. Like we got
Tetsuo right.
Yeah, we got her Yosuro.
Yeah, we got Hanamaru's Zura right. We got Ruby crying like a scared animal right.
Yeah, like a small animal.
Like
people tell me animal. I move like a small animal.
Yeah. So we got a few of them right.
And then there's we ranked them from best to worst. Kanan's was worst. Sorry.
I think you ranked them. I don't think I got around to ranking them.
Listen. Anyway, moving on. More huge news. Aquas is in America. Hey.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They came over for Anime Expo. I wish I could have gone, man. I heard about it, that they're coming over like I think a couple months ago, and I was like, man, I want nothing more. Hopefully they come again next year because I want to go, like in the next couple of years.
I'd love
I hope
to go.
They keep coming.
So Muse never left Japan, is that correct?
They went to Taiwan for some fan meetups, but they never they did perform a few songs at those fan meetups, but I don't think they ever performed outside of like Asia, that area in Asia, Eastern Asia. I don't think they ever performed outside of that, so it's pretty cool that like Aquas came over here and performed in the West.
I'm sure with the massive success they got here, this is gonna continue to be a theme.
Yeah, I hope so, because they came last year. I think only 6 of them came. I don't think all of them were able to come. They came last year and just did like a short little like introduction, It was right before the anime started, or right as the anime started. One of the two.
There's all kinds of cardboard cutouts of Cowboy Mari hanging out at Anime Expo.
Was there? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for Cowboy Mari. I'm so excited.
Perks of living in New York, praying that they come to the city that I can just hop on a train.
I would be so mad.
I'd be so happy. Come on, that's how I saw.
Why can't they come
Come on.
perform in Alaska? What the heck? No, but
They only perform snow halation.
Yeah.
It's too cold.
we probably won't like get to see it on YouTube or anything. I hope we don't, because Atlantis has a history of banning countries that stuff gets out that they didn't allow to get out. So hopefully we don't find it lying around and we don't get banned or anything. But if I gotta buy like a $50 Blu-ray about them coming over here, hell, I'll do it, man.
I feel like it's worth mentioning Soramaru's Twitter video in its own category. Hello, foreign friends.
Hello, foreign friends. I am Soramaru.
Soramaru.
I will be in Los Angeles
she's so
to
great.
sing and dance. I love it, dude. I think Mima was there also performing.
She was, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday again last week.
So we got new cards. We got some circus cards.
I like the circus cards in SAF. They're pretty cute.
I like them too. I was just talking to one of my friends who was talking about how he didn't like the face paint, but I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty neat.
I think there's been 2 runs of the circus set from Muse. 1 or 2, and they were pretty good in Muse's side. So I'm pretty excited to see Aqua's side of them.
And last but not least,
Most importantly,
we have the Hanamaru Sonic figure, the Hanamaru Sega figure that was just shown for the first time. So we knew Hanamaru was the winner for a while. Is that right?
Yeah, I think the beginning of this year we found out who was the winner of that popularity poll, and I was instantly like excited because the Rin Sonic figure is just fantastic. And I remember wanting to buy it like a year ago. It was like $50, and I was like, I should pick this up before it's more. Now it's like $150, I think. So I'm definitely gonna pick up this Hanamaru Sonic right when it comes out. But I remember, I think winter of this year, the Hanamaru got announced as the winner of the Sega figure thing. So I was like, got it. If she's posing with Sonic, I will snap that up immediately. And she's got Rin Sonic, a little charm of Rin Sonic.
Oh yeah, bag. It's 2 figures in one.
Yeah, that's easy. I can have the Rin Sonic also. We get to see what the figure looks like, but I'm sure it'll look just like the other.
I'm sure. I mean, they never messed one up before, right?
Yeah.
So you ready to move on to the meat of the thing here?
Yeah, let's move on to the potatoes. So now going into kind of another week of our subunit block that we got here for the next couple weeks, you can get into a little bit of BiBi action. BiBi, which is Maki Ellie Nico, is pretty easily far and away the most popular Love Live subunit. No, not my personal favorite. I know not your personal favorite, Tyler,
no.
And maybe not everybody's listening personal favorite, but amongst the entire fans, I don't think anybody holds a candle in popularity to BiBi.
I can see that. Weren't they voted as the 12th most recognized animated idol group ever on something?
Yeah. There's this poll on Charapedia, I think a year ago or a year or 2 ago, and they ranked a bunch of it was a big fan poll, and they ranked the most recognizable animated idol groups, and number 1 was the K-On! Group. I think this was right before the movie came out for Love Live, and then number 2 and close second was Love Live. It was Muse, sorry. And then BiBi was on there also, which is quite an accomplishment because everybody else on there had a show, completely based around them, and BiBi just is on there. I think that really speaks to their immense popularity that Love Live fans, instead of voting for Muse as their favorite, voted for BiBi, right? And
and no other subunits were on there, right?
No other Love Live subunits were on there. No.
So we got the ever popular Nico Maki in here.
Yeah. If you get a ship in there, it makes things. I don't think no other subunit has a concrete ship in there.
Yeah, later on we're going to talk about the similarities between BiBi and Guilty Kiss, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but, there's quite a few.
But for now, just individual performances. We got Maki, who is kind of you call her the pop star, right? With a
yeah, I think that's the easiest way to describe Maki. She's this pop star with a big vocal range that really doesn't have great pitch control, but she doesn't need to because of how good she makes it sound.
It's it's bad that it's good. No, it's not bad at all. It's she somehow just makes it works. and no one's complaining about the fact that she doesn't have very good pitch control at higher ranges.
Yeah, Maki's just like redheaded tomato Christina Aguilera, like, and that's fine. She Pele really pulls off that like that pop star kind of aspect of the character really well. Pele, for anybody that doesn't know, is her her voice actress.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Ellie, which is kind of like the opposite, you know.
Yeah, Ellie's quite a bit different.
We got like the soft, the kind of like soothing higher range as opposed to like she has a lot better pitch control, but doesn't exactly, I don't know, for lack of a better word, just go as ham as Maki, right?
Yeah, definitely doesn't like, you know, like when your microphone peaks real hard, like a screeching like Minecraft video that you watch from like a 6-year-old. That's like Maki. And like the really nice, you know, like video from Casey Neistat where he's just vlogging very nicely. That's your Ellie video.
Did you just describe Ellie as or Maki as a 6-year-old Minecraft YouTuber?
I mean,
I think you might have.
As far as like microphone, yeah. I mean, I hope the idea came through as I wanted to. I just kind of came up with that at the top of my head. But Ellie's got this really nice, soothing
I know you
soprano. Did. Yeah. I just whipped it up, dude. She's got this really nice, soothing soprano. She's by far Muse's best high harmonizer. She, more than anybody, handles all the high notes in live concerts. Nanjo does. Her voice actress for Seiyu. Really just like really gorgeous, nice voice. Probably like the nicest, most soothing voice to listen to in Muse. But unfortunately, didn't really get a lot of exciting things to do.
Right.
For a long time.
That's a parallel we're going to have to mention later with Rico, who is almost identical. I mean, everything you just said can be applied to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so now we got ready to talk about our resident gremlin.
Yeah, the resident gremlin, Nico. Nico I imagine Nico's pretty easily the most polarizing character in all of Love Live. Like, I can't even think of a second place.
Are you talking about people who like her and people who dislike her?
Yeah, like, it has to be, Nico has to be the most, you know, number 1 or the most number 9 on people's lists, you know? Like, people love or hate Nico.
Even before I got into the franchise, like, not even before I got into Aquas, which I got into first, like, you know, before I got into anything, there was always people hopping on the Nico is trash bandwagon, but also hopping on the Nico is best girl. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to believe. I don't know.
I love Nico. I love Nico. I adore Nico. She has kind of her own vocal talent. I wouldn't really. It's hard to say. It's one of those ones that's hard to say specifically if it's good or bad. If you like it, then that's great. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the whole point of her being so polarizing. It's just some people are just gonna like it. Some people are just gonna think it's just the absolute worst.
The most important thing Nico does is Nico raps.
Nico does rap.
Nico raps.
What are you trying to get an example for some people? Maybe go listen to Moment Ring.
Trouble Busters. She has this big rap near the end, right before the final chorus. She leads the really high energy kind of singing parts in Wonderful Rush. You know, she's got a little part in Moment Ring in one of the verses. Yeah, she raps. Of all things to do, Nico raps, and she's like super fun at it.
And she's good at it.
Yeah, Soromaru at the live concerts or Seiyu.
Yeah, I was just about to say we would be doing you a huge disservice if we didn't mention just how into it Soromaru gets.
Go watch Trouble Busters live from the 5th Live. I think that's 5th Live. She's just so into it. She's having so much fun being up there rapping, and also it's a blast.
It's just her voice just kind of sounds like Nico's. If we're being honest, it's just. I think we mentioned this a few episodes ago. Maybe last episode. It couldn't have been last episode. Like 2 episodes ago, about how Soromaru is just Nico. Like, she just pulls off her character better than anybody else pulls off their character in terms of, you know, just being their character.
Yeah, she's really good at it.
Yeah, it's not to say Soromaru is a gremlin, but you get the point.
Hello, foreign friends.
So, I'd say we're about ready to move into our first song, right?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So that would be Diamond Princess no Yuuutsu. And yeah, that is almost like Guilty Kiss. BiBi's first single. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
冷たいのはなぜなの激しさで見つめられてもう赤いのにどうしてダイヤモンドプリンセスだ完璧な輝きやどうしても何かがね足りないとざわめいた心夢に揺れる美少女なんて映画だけの出来事でいいわそれが誰もわからない消えてしまえ守ってなんて私聞いてないのもろい壊れるものより熱く熱く溶けてみたい挑戦してよ
So, in a complete 180 from Love Marginal, we have a song that perfectly represents BiBi. It's a come out as their first single. Ring, 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 ring a bell. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. This song pretty easily like wraps up what BiBi does become. It's very like it's got some like heavy synth beats, you know. It's a K-pop song, and that's like really what BiBi ends up becoming. They're very like inspired by inspiration group wise is like very K-poppy, very charming songs that are just like a good time to listen to.
So I'll just be upfront. BiBi, like, I will definitely. It falls under the category of will listen to passively and not skip a lot of their songs, with the exception of a song coming up. We'll definitely skip, but we'll get to that when we get there. I like this a lot. It's just yeah. I always thought EDM was kind of boring, which is kind of a 180 from what people usually think when they always talk about how exciting EDM is. Like, I never really had any interest in like ever going to like an EDM show or anything. It just I'm not like super into it, but that being said, I don't hate it, especially when it's by artists that I really like. In this case, you know, Love Live Girls.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like a Maki Center song, but I think Ellie really steals the show in this song. Like, consistently, she just has a very strong vocal performance. It doesn't. This is really early on in BiBi's lifespan, so like Nico hasn't quite become, you know, Nico the rapper yet. So she kind of has this
Nico the rapper,
dude. So she kind of has this
not a
very exciting part compared to the other two. But I really think this is a song where Ellie's not the center and she really steals the show just by being like so good vocally. Yeah,
good
at singing. And this is like early on when, you know, not everybody had really, especially as their first subunit song. You know, this came, I think subunits came out right after Snow Halation. So this is like super early on in Love Live, and not everybody had quite figured out like their vocal roles yet, especially in subunits, you know. So Ellie really rose to the top as a vocal power in this group really early on.
We're gonna have the hardest time in the coming future when we try to describe Rico and Ellie's voice, and we have no way to describe it other than they're really good at singing.
The singing is good. Yeah,
it's just the singing is they're really good.
They sound
singing,
most like,
and they
you
don't
know, like the kid that you've known growing up that's always been good at singing and has taken lessons for it. You know,
there's nothing special about their voices. Like, there's nothing weird or anything. And they don't necessarily sound like their characters, I guess. They're just I guess Ellie sounds more like Ellie than Rico does like Ricago, I would think. But Ellie sounds more like Nanjo, not Ellie.
Yeah, we did it.
You know what I meant. But but I don't know. I think they're just really, like, they're just what you think of when you think of a good singer, you know what I mean? You don't have to explain why. You don't have to be like, they sing like this and they're, you know, their pitch control. It's just, no,
you don't have
really
to have,
good.
if people listen to it, you don't have to have, like, you don't have to explain to them why they sing good. It's just any passive listener can hear that and go, wow, that person's very talented. Yeah, and like I said, it's not an Ellie Center song, but she has some pretty neat parts in here, which ends up being quite a bit different from the next, you know, almost 3 or 4 years of Love Live until like Angelic Angel, where she starts to get more interesting parts near the end of Muse's run.
Right.
Maki sounds good.
So I was looking at the lyrics.
Maki sounds good also. We didn't mention Maki, but Maki sounds good. She hadn't quite, I don't think she had quite embraced that, like, pop star role yet.
You're just kind of trying to sing in the good way.
Sounds good, but
you know what I mean? Like in
just like I was saying, not everybody had, you know, figured out what their role in the group was going to be yet.
Right. So so the lyrics are about a girl, presumably, who doesn't exactly want to live like that, like prissy kind of like princess life, and it's all about just like inner fire and let me do my thing. I'm gonna be the best. It's kind of like Saint Snow before Saint Snow was Saint Snow, if I'm being honest. And then the whole second chorus is about, I don't want to be a guardian clad in light. I whispered that I want the fragrance of darkness instead. So this is like the Yoshiko prequel.
The prequel. Yeah, this is some deep stuff, man. And it just kind of adds to like BiBi, probably out of more than any other subunit, is like kind of more sensual, you know, like they have more sexually driven songs than anybody else by far.
Have you seen their album art?
Not even the album art, just like the songs themselves. Like Cutie Panther is like very sexual. A lot of Maki Center songs are like
it's borderline rapey, like
are borderline rapey, and we'll be getting to them eventually. But they have a lot more, you know. Even their slow songs end up being like more sexually charged than a lot of any of the other subunit songs, really.
I will say though, one big criticism I have of the song is I think the chorus personally makes this song for me, and I wouldn't. This song might be a skip if it didn't have the chorus that it does. There's just some kind of like, I don't know how to describe it musically without just singing it for you, but going from the first line of the chorus to the second, there's a shift in tone, and that particular shift in tone just gets me, and I really like it. And I kind of like when that's done happening, I kind of just look forward to the next time that's gonna happen in a in the next chorus, and that's what keeps you from not skipping the song.
I think the song's chorus, the backing in the chorus is super interesting, which is just like a consistent theme for BiBi. They have some of the most interesting backing in all of Love Live.
Right.
Like Cutie Panther.
That's the thing I like most.
Cutie Panther, Psychic Fire. Trouble Busters. God, I can't remember the name of the one right now. The one that they gave out at the movie. If you went to saw the movie in Japan, and they gave out if you won the lottery. Like some really interesting backing. I even think the next song we're going over, Love Novel, I think it's got a really kind of neat backing to it.
I'm a huge fan of interesting backings, but I like this is kind of like, you know, the EDM backing, which is you know, I mentioned before how I'm not the biggest fan in the whole world. I'm talking interesting, like I really like Majuke Dreamer's backing. I really like Angelic Angel's backing. Nawatobi's is really good. And even Kokuhaku Biori Desu. I know I keep mentioning that song. I mentioned that like 3 times last episode, but I really like that song. I don't want to take away from BiBi though. We're still on the BiBi train here. So without further ado, are you ready to move on to Love Novels?
Let's get it on.
Alright. I am not ready to move on to Love Novels. Thank you for asking. Alright, let's roll this.
song really sets, more than Diamond Princess, sets the precedent for BiBi to have really interesting backing and to have like kind of an interesting song that it's hard to follow what's going on because there's so much going on. So you have to sit back and listen to it a couple times.
Yeah, you know, that is something I noticed about it.
Every chorus has so much going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of parentheses in this on this lyric sheet for things that are going on in the background.
Yeah, and I think that's a consistent with BiBi, that there's always a lot going on in the backing. You can always take a second look, a second, third, fourth look, and always kind of find something new that you like. Like, I really like the backing for the instrumental for this song. I think it's really neat. I think it's super. It really, just like Diamond Princess, sets the stage for kind of this poppy group. This song more poppy than a lot of their other songs, but
oh yeah, definitely.
They kind of settle in between this and Diamond Princess for quite a few of their songs.
So, do you like this song?
I like this song. I think definitely falls on that scale of like songs that I enjoy listening to. It came on, when I was at work the other day, and I bobbed along, and I really like the talking segments.
Oh, cool! That makes one of us.
Talking segments. Okay, do you like this song?
I don't want to alienate our viewers because just statistically, a lot of them are going to be BiBi fans because there's a lot of BiBi fans in the world. Without going into too much detail, this is my least favorite Love Live song.
That's out of amount of detail.
Like out of all the Love Live songs that exist, I think the thing that kills it for me is the talking. I really don't like it. I feel like the chorus would be just passable, but the talking just kills it for me. Like we mentioned it before, how a lot of Muse's things were just to just break out and talk in the middle of the song, and that's cool when they have their own section. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I'm sure they do somewhere else in the world. I don't like when they're talking and I have to try to listen to the music over someone talking. That reminds me of me having earbuds in and then someone talking, like trying to talk, like have a conversation with me. Like I'm just getting flashbacks here. I don't want to do that.
The song feels like almost feels like a gag gift. Like there's something about it. A gag gift, like kind of like a novelty. Like you pick this up at the. You pick up this song, just this song specifically, at like the store when you go on vacation that tries to scam terrorists or tourists.
What?
Tries to scam terrorists. Oh, I'm a broken man. First mermaid fiesta. Now this
scamming terrorists.
Now
that's
scamming
a good thing.
Terrorists. No, tries to scam tourists at the little shop. Just like I don't know. This song's weird. Like the talking usually happens in the final like instrumental solo between the second to last chorus and the last chorus. But it's weird that this song's talking happens while the chorus is going. Like they are singing, and there's an audio track of them talking over it. I love I really like the "Love Alive" from Nico at one point. But yeah, to each their own,
I will say I do like the lyrics, which I didn't know before I looked up the lyrics just now, but they're all about like, hey, idiot, like, are you not seeing that I want to be your girlfriend? And it's not even subtle. Like there's literally a line about halfway through the song that's, in short, I like you to try to like me back, and then later on I want to become your girlfriend. Like I don't know, I think they might want to become my girlfriend.
That's blunt, man. I'm down. Yeah, I respect the bluntness.
Every chorus is like, okay, like you can't be this stupid. Like, please, for the love of God.
That's probably what they're saying. They're just like, love alive, ooh. That's their prayer. That's their prayer to the heavens.
It's the mating call.
Yeah, that's their mating call. Overall, like I feel like for me personally, I do have songs that like I dislike out of Love Live, but this is not one of them for me. I like this song enough.
This is one of my few skips. I won't hide it. I definitely don't like this song. I don't want to.
Well, that's one other way. Like I got 2 or 3 skips. You got 2 or 3 skips. Like, that's one of them out of the way.
another big thing for me aside from the talking is the raising of pitch, like right before a verse, like blah, 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 blah. I can't stand it. It sounds something.
Like that? You don't
it
like
sounds
that
like
Stairway
something
to Heaven?
that is not stairway. Don't compare that to Stairway to Heaven. That's something that,
Is it the
like,
Stairway to
you're
Hell?
going through, like, Windows Movie Maker in 2008, you're like, what does this effect do? And then,
What is this effect?
wow, how cool is Lantis
Dude, you
is
just gotta
using Windows
climb that
Movie
ladder.
Maker.
Yeah, Windows is using
Windows is using Movie Maker. We're on a roll tonight, dude.
Oh man, I'm broken. It's
Windows
8:30, dude. It's so past my bedtime.
Windows is using Movie Maker to scam the terrorists.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay. So this brings us to Guilty Kiss, which, I mean, we're going to basically parrot ourselves here with what we said with BB before. This is the fan favorite of the group. And
they've had the best-selling singles. Their 2 singles are best-selling so far out of the Aqua subunits.
Right. And unlike groups like Sharon and Prantoms, where we talked about how they don't work on paper, or I'm sorry, they seem like they don't work on paper, but they end up working. Mm-hmm. You look at Guilty Kiss for a half a second, and you know, like, wow, this is gonna be great.
What a perfect like vocal combination! Like it just like everything works out so well for Guilty Kiss.
I feel like so let's draw some parallels. You ready?
Yeah.
So, well, first let's talk about individual performances. So we already mentioned Rico before, the resident good singer. Nothing really special, but a really, really good singer, a really high harmonizer.
She does that soprano harmonizing just like super well. She has started to do this like kind of neat thing over the last couple months. The last couple months worth of releases. I think it started about Happy Party Train, where she's really been like adding this like squeak to her voice at the end of each line. Each lyric, and I really like it. Kind of this like uplift,
getting kind of Maury-esque.
Yeah, and I really like it. It's really interesting. Something that I think she was lacking beforehand.
I'm you, but a baby.
I'm you, but baby.
So, yeah. Mari is Maki.
Maki is Mari. Yeah, they're just. I think Mari's a little bit like sillier about it.
Yeah,
but
I think the same thing.
Yeah, but vocally, like they're both pop stars. Like they just like sing out and let the world hear, and the world's like, hey, that wasn't like technically correct, but wow, was that really good?
Wow, was that good?
We were talking. That's just incredibly enjoyable.
We had this exact conversation, just not even like rehearsing or anything, like a few days ago. We mentioned how if something were to happen to Aina or anything, like say Aina, God forbid, had to be replaced or something, or someone tried to sing her parts, no one can do Mari like Aina can.
Yeah.
Like there is no replacing Mari. It doesn't. There is no answer to this.
I think a lot of the. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I feel like if I had to pick someone who was quote unquote replaceable, I don't want to use the word replaceable because that seems a little harsh, but like Rico and Ellie, it's kind of like, you know, you can find like good singers, but no one can Mari like Mari can. You feel?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the other seiyus in the group would be able to pull off voices for the other characters in both the groups. That could get the job done. Like you could tell it wasn't them, but they could get the job done, you know. But wow, I don't think anybody could be Mari except for Aina. She's so goofy, and that goofiness just really falls perfectly in line with her voice.
The owners tend to get a little irritata.
Oh man, dude, the Sunshine dub is a gift. I think when you make vocal parallel, I remember a couple months ago I made like kind of a vocal parallel for each member of the group, and not everybody lined up perfectly, but even back then, like the first one that I landed on was Mari and Maki, just identical. And one of the ones that I also landed on was Umi Yoshiko. Very like similar vocal abilities. They just can hit every note.
They're good at it.
Yeah.
So, you know, compare Mari to the singing super high, zero pitch control. When we say zero pitch control again, that's not a bad thing. Like both Mari and Maki just make it work 100%.
Yeah, they're just pop stars. Pop stars don't need pitch control. It's overrated.
But but Yoshiko, when they let her let loose in songs like Strawberry Trapper, does she like steal the show is not the word. Like you listen to the song to get to the Yoshiko part.
Yoshiko, we talked about Yo last week being a show stealer. I don't think anybody in all of Love Live steals the show like Yoshiko does between the two groups. Like, she is the biggest, like, brightest star, whether she's in you know, the Yoshiko voice, which is a soprano, or she's in Yohane, which is an alto. Like, either or, she just is so good at stealing the show and just making everything sound really good. She can just hit every note. I don't know how Icon at the ripe old age of like what I think she's 20 or 21
12
get all that voice out. Like holy heck, she's good. Icon is her Seiyu.
Yeah, just got a shoe in 2010 Hanayo here for on the topic of altos. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, we already talked about how Mari and Maki were the same members. Rico and Ellie being the resident good singers, like we said before, and yeah, and they, you know. Alright, cut that part out. Cut the and you know. So lastly, we got Yoshiko and Nico, who I mean, they're definitely not similar, but that doesn't take away from either group. You feel? I feel like
they're both capable of like stealing the show at any time. Yeah, I think
they just have
Nico's
to. They have to have their parts. You feel? Like
Yeah.
if Nico gets to rap and if Yoshiko just gets to get real low, it's just wow. Not like that, hopefully, but
yeah. Hopefully not quite like that. But they're both really good at just like showing up and grabbing the show out of nowhere. You know, Yoshiko has the better overall singing voice. I think that's like easy to say. Like
I agree completely. Yeah.
She doesn't show up and show this show all the time because her part doesn't really ask for it. But they really give her a lot of free reign to just when Yoshiko's in a song. And she's an important person in the song, whether it be a subunit 3-person song or like a Yoshiko center song. Like she always just blows people away. She's fantastic in like Daydream Warrior. She's really good in Waka Waka Week. The first year's unit song. Like she completely blows it out of the water there.
We don't get any alto in there, but
no,
still,
but like that was the first time where I was like, wow. Soprano Yoshiko is just as good. Like there's no doubting it. She can steal the show just as well while being in soprano mode.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the part where she goes "Kira" at the end. So that's some sick alto.
Yeah, there we go. There's one, and then she goes "Kira."
Yeah, right. So, we talked about last episode. I feel like I said that exact phrase 50 times this episode. Last time we talked about how Prantops and Seiron are very, very safe, like, genres. Like, they're what you would, like, when you think of an idol song, you would think of a Prantops or Seiron song. Chiron, sorry. I feel like maybe they took a little bit of a risk with BiBi, but I feel like they didn't at all take a risk with Guilty Kiss, because they saw the success of BiBi, and, I mean, it's working.
Yeah, like, BiBi's a lot more synth, which isn't, like, as huge of a risk, but I feel like they took upon the BiBi formula of like a lot of EDM, heavy, like a lot of heavy EDM stuff, and was like, hey, what about if we did more, if we pushed it a little bit further, let's see how far we can go without the chain breaking, and they added in like rock, like okay,
yeah, that's like the saving
rock.
grace for Guilty Kiss with me. I already talked about my grievances with EDM, how I will listen to it, but it's definitely not my favorite. But then we got rock Guilty Kiss, and we got Kawari. Is that how you say it? I hope it is.
Kawari, yeah.
And I mean, of course, Strawberry Trapper, which we're gonna listen to in just a minute here.
We like it a lot. It's our intro and outro song. In case you didn't pick up on that.
I mean, I would still listen to Guilty Kiss if they were just EDM, because I think they do it very well with songs like Guilty Eyes Fever and Guilty Night Guilty Kiss.
Such a good song.
Not so much. It's escaping me. What's the new song called?
Shadow Gate to Love.
Shadow Gate to Love. I'm not the hugest fan of that song. Definitely don't hate it. Definitely won't skip it. But I feel like it really shows in Guilty Eyes Fever and Guilty Night Guilty Kiss. However, definitely not my favorite subunit. I gotta have my place for Sharon, but they're just so good. And if Sharon ended up being more bubbly, more Prantops like, I mean, Guilty Kiss would definitely be my number one subunit for Aquas and for Love Live, I guess. So are you? Do you have anything else to say? You ready to just jump into Strawberry Trapper?
Yeah, let's go on.
All right, cool.
Ready? 待ってないよな見つけた君は寂しい人みたった鼓動が鳴ってる手に入れなさいと冷静なほど暑さを楽しめるの高まる想いは抑えて静かに集める君の情報価値あるセンシティブマインド背後に歩み寄るスリルがたまらない狙い定めたら逃がさないから逃がさないから恋の罠から始まりたい踊りながら人生の上ありきたりじゃつまらない特別を感じたいの奪いたい君のこと待ってないよな
Buckle in, kids. This is going to be a long one.
Yeah, so Tyler talked about his second favorite Love Letter song last week. This is my second favorite Love Letter song. Like, Strawberry Trapper is so good. There's never been a song that, like, I can just sit down and listen to forever. The only other song that, like, I've been able to just listen to since it came out is Moment Ring. And, like, oh, man, this song is just so good. It's so interesting. Vocally,
Tell us how good it is.
It's got so much going on. It's got like, vocally there's so much going on. The backing is great. When this song came out, and then we got Guilty Eyes Fever, which I also love. I love that song. I was like kind of shaking in my boots. I was like, are we not going to get another Guilty Kiss? I was like, did they not like it? Like it sold well, but did they not like it? And I was like shaking in my boots. And then the new one came out, and it's another rock song. So I know that we're going to be getting plenty of Guilty Kiss rock, and I'm so excited for it.
So let's start from before, like the first milliseconds of the song. Can we talk about Ready?
Ready? Yeah, no, it's so
Can we talk
good.
about how that's a thing that we say, like when we start recording? Ready?
Yeah, we'll just say ready, and that's our go. That's our start talking to each other.
On the topic of Ready, I want to talk about the time I was deaf because of this song. I was at the live viewing. Excuse me, sorry. I was at the live viewing for the first live, right? And of course, there was like a lot of thunderous applause from people. It was in a movie theater, so the acoustics were kind of a little wacky. So it was really loud. But there was not a single song, there was not a single appearance, not from the second the lights went down, not from Aqua's appearing on stage. There was not a single thunderous cheer as loud as when Ready first came on.
The pyrotechnics start going off and Ready comes on.
So first was Sharon, right? Like they showed up first, and they were doing subunits, and they did both, right? So I mean, it was obvious that it was gonna do both. Like both groups were gonna do both. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, that means Strawberry Trapper's gonna play tonight. Not that I had doubts that Strawberry Trapper wasn't gonna be played at the first live, but I mean, okay. And then Azalea came on, and it was like, okay, yeah, this is great, but I mean, come on. And then the lights went dim. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And I wasn't ready, despite the fact that I was ready. Like, they said ready, and I was like, and then my hearing just left. It left the building.
Disappeared. Did you ever find it? Dropping frames, dropping hearing, dude. This song, I don't think there's a more hype song in all of Love Live. Like, it's hard to locate a more, like, just hype-inducing song. This song is so good. You got like the chorus is super interesting with the back and forths. They go into they speak a little bit of English into the
whole
singing.
trap and night kind of.
Yeah, just like last week.
I felt you last episode where you just want to say how good it is, but you just can't because there's no way you can just explain to these people how much you like this song.
And the guitar solo at the end, and I think the single best solo arguably the best. I think there's one in Anone Gabare that holds a candle to it. Yoshiko's solo at the end.
Oh, the
just,
Yohane Shokan?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Like, just so incredibly vocally impressive.
So you're going to be the one editing this video. Can you do us a quick favor right now and just play the 1 second of the dive bomb in the beginning of the solo on guitar?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The guitar solo at the end,
yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite. I've replayed the song, like I've rewound just to hear the dive bomb. Like,
I want to play this song on Rock Band so bad. Like, there has to be a beat map out there somewhere that I can download and get onto my PlayStation. Like,
speaking of that, being a guitarist, this song is both really fun and really hard. Like, the solo has some really, really advanced guitar techniques. Like, I mentioned the dive bomb. That's something you do with the whammy bar. It's hard to explain, but you basically do something called the pinch harmonic, and you kind of just go crazy with your whammy bar. I mean, I can't really explain it now. And then we got from sweeping at the end of the solo, which is the very, very last part of the solo where, you know, all those notes just happen really, really fast. That's called sweeping. And man, the solo is hard and fun and good, and oh my.
It's pretty
This
good.
song's even fun when you're just playing the rhythm, when you're just jamming along to it, and you're just kind of it's really fun. This is
yeah,
a
the song is just
song.
great. Like, no other song I feel quite says like what the subunit's about. Obviously, not every Guilty Kiss song has been, you know, this rock song. Only 2 out of the 5 have been. But like, I don't know, this song just feels the most Guilty Kiss. If I had to say, what is Guilty Kiss? Like, if you just went up and said, hey, what kind of band is Guilty Kiss? They'd be like, oh, it sounds like a punk rock band. It's like, oh, yep, you're pretty close. Let's talk about the most important part of the song, Mari's lock on at the end. This is one of the few songs on my list that I can sing along to pretty well the whole time, and I always just go ham with the lock on in my car driving when I'm driving.
It's kind of a thing. Like, Luke and I, we like to sing. I mean, we're not very good at singing Love Live songs because A, it's in a different language, and B, it's sung way out of our vocal ranges 90% of the time. So we were just having fun, like doing a project, like, oh, we should sing Guilty Kiss. We were doing it with another friend, and we were allocating parts, and I'd figure Luke would want Yoshiko/Yohane because it's, you know, the deep part, and then he's like, no, I want Mari. I'm like, but Mari's like the highest part. Why do you want Mari? And he's like, because I get to say lock on.
Yeah, I want that lock on, dude. There's a guy and I were always hanging out, and he's not necessarily a Love Live fan or anything. But he's always like, hey, can you put on Strawberry Trapper? Because I want to hear that lock on again. I'm like, dude, I can do that for you. It's Jesse, not Jesse. But like, this song is just so egregiously fun. I think that's the correct word for it. Just like how much fun you can have with this. This song is just so easy to like rock out to and start dancing to and stuff.
I feel like we haven't even cracked the surface about what makes this song so good. I mean, we don't have like an incredible amount of time left, but I mean, everyone. We mentioned that, like, when we were describing what every character was good at, they do that in this song.
Yeah,
every character
Rico's
what they're
the crime weapon. She's just there sounding
accessory.
Good. The crime accessory, yeah, as they call, that's what they call Rikako, you know, and she's just there sounding really good, and the other 2 are just like jamming out, like she's kind of, you know, she's holding the ground for him so that they can just sound fantastic in it.
Then Yoshiko has her whole solo. I mean, that's kind of, if I think Yoshiko Alto, I think of her Yohane Shokan moment here. Which, by the way, didn't know until a little bit ago that Yoshiko doesn't say Yohane Shokan, and that's actually Riko. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yohane Showtime. Yeah.
Showtime.
Well, that's what it translates.
That's what it just reminds me of, like a 4Kids like dub, like time to go.
Time to go, Yohane. I'll see what I can do, Riko. That's the lyrics. No, song's incredibly vocally impressive. I think from a lot of different aspects.
Song's incredibly instrumentally impressive from a lot of aspects.
This song, like, when I first really started listening to the song, I quickly, you know, got into like my top 10 favorite songs, and since then it's just been moving up a ranking. Just every couple weeks it just moves up one, you know, and just really my favorite thing about subunits is songs like this. You know, I adore subunits and songs where everybody gets to do what they're best at, and this is a song where everybody gets to do what they're best at.
So it's no secret that Luke is kind of like the veteran here, with him being into Love Live way before me, and me initially being a little bit stubborn, like, come on, I don't want to. That's just generic J-pop, you know. And he had like a little like collection of songs for me to listen to that really contributed to me getting into Love Live. And the ultimate decider was Mijuku Dreamer, but Strawberry Trapper was also on that playlist, and I was just like, wow, like this is a song I can listen to, like, by itself. And now it turns out my whole phone is filled with songs that I can just listen to by themselves from Love Live. This is one of the initial, like, hey Tyler, come get into Love Live, and I'm like, okay.
I think the song is, I like I said, I got friends that don't like Love Live, and a few of them sent them this song, and they're like, wow, I don't like Love Live, but this song's really good. My
girlfriend likes this song, like she did. I like catch her sometimes, just kind of be like, na, 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 na. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, what? Are you singing baby metal?
You sing baby metal that I can listen to. I think that's a mic phrase, but yeah, great song. Really shows off all these girls' vocal talents. Like, and it was a blast live.
We're 10 minutes in, and I still feel like we haven't dug into this song. Like, is there? Can we say any more about this? Like, other than the song is just magnificent, and everyone in the song is just their peak performance.
Yeah.
I think this is it. I think we can't. I think the rest is up to you. Like, you just have to feel the song, like we've been talking about.
You just have to listen to it, and then it'll be one of your favorites. Like, it's really easy. You just give it a listen, and you're like, wow, this is really good.
This song is just objectively so good. Like, there's subunits I'm not the biggest fan of, but even if you're not the biggest Guilty Kiss fan, I can't imagine anyone just flat out hating this song in a me with love novels kind of way, like in a skip kind of way. You feel?
Yeah. So, can't see this as being anybody's skipper. Yeah.
So I feel like we could just make a whole episode on talking about Strawberry Trapper.
But we can just rant about it, actually saying nothing, but still talking about it. Yeah.
The episode would just be Strawberry Trapper played about 42 times. But we need to move on. So you ready to move on to Guilty Not Guilty Kiss?
Yep.
Begrudgingly ready to move on. Not that I don't like the next song.
Come on.
All right, let's play the song. Come on.
して連れ去りたいから返事はいらないのまだ無料なキス気のないそぶりは嘘でしょその目が熱いってもう知ってるよ大胆なのは生まれつきなのさそういうことにしておけばほんの任せそれしかないねさあこっち来てゆかりかい夢みたいのはない踊り明かそうよ全ては過ぎ去ってこのだからこそ綺麗さ夢みたいのはない踊り明かそうよ全てが過ぎ去ったあと私たち Falling Again
Song is a sleeper banger, like 100%. You were just saying how you remember the song being inferior to Strawberry Trapper, which I feel like it is, and I know that now you feel like it is, but it's really easy to be inferior to Strawberry Trapper.
99% of the Love Live discography is inferior to Strawberry Trapper.
But like,
this is of course our opinion.
Yeah, it's hard. It's easy to get covered up by such a great song. This song itself is really good.
This song is a prime example of Baby Maybe Koi No Button syndrome, where song's fine, but its other side is just wow. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just so good that it's easy to forget about it. Yeah.
That being said, the song I don't think is anywhere near Baby Maybe Coin a Button level of forgettable. Like, this song is real good.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's sleeper banger. Like this is the, you got the one half of Guilty Kiss where they're this rock band, and the other half where they're just like club bangers. Like if I went to a club, like I'd dance to this song 100%. Like these are just like really good electric dance music songs. Like really good EDM songs.
I think my main thing with BiBi is I'm not really into, like, a lot of BiBi is kind of like trancey, like really like fast, hard, like and
yeah, trancey's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
And this song doesn't follow that, doesn't really follow that at all. In fact, I think there's electric organ in this song. Like, I'm not entirely sure that's what the instrument is, but I really like it. Like, I like a lot of like we were talking about earlier in this episode, how great instrumentation is good, but I like the really, really unique ones, like the Angelic Angels and the Majuka Dreamers. And I feel like if your Love Live song has electric organ in it,
yeah, you're getting
then you're already doing something good in my book. Completely unrelated. Replaying Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, right? And I don't know if you ever played that game, but that game has some really good music. And I remember as a kid, back when my musical tastes were still under construction, I remember the Rouge levels were being like, oh, whatever, the music is whatever. And I'm playing them now, and I'm like, there's like xylophone, synth, and like bells. I'm like, this is great. Like, this is awesome. And I feel like a lot of that stems from I'm just so into just not weird sounding music, but just like really unique, like instruments.
Interesting.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just really interesting sound. So
to me, this song sounds like it should almost be in like Splatoon at the beginning.
Yeah.
There's like it just feels like kind of this weird almost Splatoon song. Comment down below if you think this song should be in Splatoon at the beginning. Yeah. Not necessarily the entire song.
Like, comment, and subscribe
Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your Splatoon comments below. What's your favorite weapon? This song's great. Like it's a little bit slower. Mari really takes she's the center for the song.
Yeah.
She really like grabs the reins and just sounds fantastic in it. She really shows off what makes Mari Mari. She's just out there having a really good time singing.
And this is not necessarily it's not as forward as BiBi, whereas BiBi's like, hey asshole, come date me. This is a lot more like let's dance the night away until morning. I want you to be mine. Whereas BiBi, be my girlfriend. No, wait,
Please.
Hold on, wait, other way around.
Please,
I want to be your girlfriend.
Yeah, no, this song's really good. I really like the yeses in the chorus, and Mari has by far the best. I think everybody gets a yes, where they're like yes,
yes.
And Mari's got like a super good one at the end. So go take a listen to those great yeses near the end. They have they really go around after the final chorus when it's kind of into the final little bit of solos. I think everybody gets two of them, and they all sound just stunning. Like vocally, the song's really good. They meld together really well. Also, none of them really stand out really hard. You have to give it a second or third listen before you can figure out what each part is between the three of them.
I think
maybe
that's
Mari
more
less because
okay.
she's
I was
more recognizable.
literally just about to say that. Yeah, I think that's definitely a thing between Yoshiko and Rico when they both sing in their soprano. But Mari, right away when Mari's singing.
Yeah. Mari's got one of the most recognizable voices in Love Live. Yeah.
I think she's definitely goofy, like if you're new and trying to figure out who sings what in Love Live, just try to find every song Mari's in, and you'll know just right off the bat.
Like easy.
There's some more difficult ones, like maybe like a Daya is a little bit hard to find sometimes, like a Rico maybe, but Mari is just like you can hear Mari from a mile away.
Yeah,
if she's not
front and center.
saying some kind of shiny or some English already,
Yeah, one of what I think is like three of the stars in Aqua's that's just always able to take center stage at any time, and it's really neat how you have these two these two stars in this group, and Rico does a great job of balancing them out because it could just end up with them
in a screaming
yelling at
match.
each other almost. Yeah. this group's very similar to like Soldier Game, the Soldier Game trio. Where it could have just been Umi and Maki just yelling at each other, but Ellie was there to kind of like make everybody sound good. And this group's very similar. So really, Yoshiko and Mari can go all out all the time, and Rico can be there to make them sound good together. And I think it comes out in this song pretty well.
this started what I was originally thinking was going to be a trend through all Guilty Kiss songs, where guilty is in the name. Okay, so I mean, you gotta look at this from a chronological point of view. We got Strawberry Chapter and Guilty Night, Guilty Kiss, and then what is the next song but Guilty Eyes Fever? I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it.
We'll get one every
guilty
CD
motif.
will have a guilty song.
And then the next one we got Kodayaski and Shadowgate to Love, and we're like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm still hyped for it.
I hope one day the final single has guilty in it. That's my dream.
So, I mean, any final thoughts on this song? Aside from the song is good?
Yeah, it's a banger. Like, it's a club banger, and I think that's really what Guilty Kiss is super good at, is just making really enjoyable to listen to songs.
I can agree with that. I don't think there's any doubt that this song, you have to explain these songs the least to people. You know what I mean? Like, you can play this song for somebody and they'll just be like, wow, that's a good song for both of them. I mean, they won't know what they're saying, obviously. Like, if you ever play any kind of Japanese music for your friends or family, they're like, wait, what the hell is this? But, you know, you don't have to explain, like, Sharon's like this, and, you know, Azalea's a little bit softer. It's like, you just, hey, here's a rock song and here's an EDM song. They're like, wow, good music, you know?
Wow, I like this, yeah.
So, I think we're about ready to close up our Guilty Kiss discussion here. Yep.
I think that does it. So now that we've kind of gone over our two subunits for the week, we want to know, what is your guys' favorite of the two? Is it Guilty Kiss or is it BiBi? Is it old school or is it new school, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So let us know down below who your favorite is. Tyler, which one of these two do you like the most and why?
Guilty Kiss. I don't need to think about this one. I think it's so objectively Guilty Kiss. Like, I didn't mean objectively. That wasn't the right word. I meant it's not a contest for me for Guilty Kiss. Strawberry Trapper exists, and I mean that enough is almost alone justification for Guilty Kiss. So if we look at their songs, you know, moving forward, Guilty Eyes Fever, I like it a lot. I definitely like Guilty Night, Guilty Kiss a little bit more. Shadowgate to Love, I like it. Definitely won't skip it. Kodayaski, I like it a lot. I was actually very, very, very skeptical of. I mentioned this before. This whole episode happened before. I was really skeptical when the preview was released because we have that really like hard rock intro, like brr, 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 and there's like that kind of synth in the background, and then it almost sounds like the song kind of just changes, I guess, and it sounds like a different song, and then we get it again later, and not a bad song. I don't know. But anyway, that being said, I really like Guilty Kiss's just rock. I like rock music a lot, and Guilty Kiss pulls it off really well. I feel like one of my favorite songs in all of Love Live is Self Control by Saint Snow, which is from the anime. You know, it's kind of like the Arise of Sunshine, and I listen to that song constantly, and that song keeps reminding me of Strawberry Trapper. And every time I think of Strawberry Trapper, I just want to go listen to it. And Guilty Kiss is really, really good, and I like Guilty Kiss a whole lot. BiBi, like I said, EDM is kind of like kind of fast-paced trance EDM, just not my style. Won't skip unless it's love novels, then we'll 100% skip. I just like even the members of BiBi. I don't hate them at all. Ellie is one of my least favorite Muse members, and so is Nico. Not to say that they're bad. They're just I just like the other members more. Guilty Kiss, on the other hand, Mari and Yoshiko are both I think they're real close to my personal S tier. I think Yoshiko is an S tier and Mari's like top of A. I just think I like the members more, I like the styles more, and I like Guilty Kiss more. And that's pretty much the whole gist of it. What about you, Luke?
I think this is one of the tougher like betweens for me. I think last week it's pretty easily like Chiron. BiBi's got more of these, you know, mid-tier songs that I really like. You know, songs that can get into like my top 30. But not necessarily songs that are going to get in my top 10, like Cutie Panther, Trouble Busters, Psychic Fire, like all songs that I really enjoy, and the live shows for all of them are fantastic. Psychic Fire at the final live was great. It was one of my favorite live performances ever. But in the end, like, it probably goes to Guilty Kiss by a little bit, and if they keep having strong single releases like they've had, then it'll probably overwhelmingly go to them. If you go off of just like the idea of potential, then it's pretty easily Guilty Kiss. But if you go off of the idea of what is out now, in the thought that Guilty Kiss never releases the thought that's not true, more than likely that Guilty Kiss never releases another song that I like, then it would be closer. But off of the potential of them releasing more, it's pretty easy.
There is that underlying fear for me that they're never going to come out with another rock song. Like I said, I like Guilty Kiss's style of EDM, but I really like their rock.
Yeah, and like I said, Strawberry Trapper is my second favorite song. They get huge merits for that. And Shadowgate to Love, when I made my top 10, a week or two ago, where I really wanted to base a lot of what we've been talking about for the next couple weeks, what we would be talking about for the next couple weeks. Guilty as Fever barely missed the cut for that one. That's when I was like, okay, it's probably Guilty Kiss over BiBi, but I don't want to say slim. It has a room to grow pretty gigantic, the gap between the two. But Guilty Kiss, as of right now, is my second favorite subunit. So give the nod to them for now. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of favorite subunits, I think next week is finally the week.
Next week is a very polarizing week for you.
Next week is we're gonna have the best of times. We're gonna have the most. Oh man, I don't even want to. Azalea and I don't want anybody to go off of me like I'm not crap talking Azalea at all. Azalea and I just got a rough history, which we'll talk about next week. But I'm super excited to talk about Lily White. This is what I've been waiting for. I adore Lily White.
I got my moment of fame in the first episode. Now we're saving the best for last for you, huh?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh,
for Lily
yeah.
White.
In case you haven't noticed, there's no guest this week. The whole kind of thing just didn't work out. We had plans come up, and our recording time got all kinds of messed up. So we will definitely have guests in the future, but this time it didn't. Didn't.
Yeah, it didn't end up panning out this time.
But that's okay, because there's always more room for that particular guest and any other guest who wants to come on our show. But yeah, so
excited for Lily White. Yeah, sorry. I'm
going to hear this all week about how excited you are for Lily White until we record next whatever.
I just want to record like tonight. I just want to record the Lily White episode tonight. I've been so amped for this.
There's no news because there hasn't been news yet.
There's no news because Aquas went to LA
again.
Did you hear landing action? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let's get to Lily White. No, real excited for that, but we'll wait for that for next week.
So yeah, just let us know down below what which you prefer out of the two and why. I think this one's going to be a lot different than our Sharon and Prontom's ones. I feel like I kind of knew Sharon was going to get the edge, but I didn't think they'd get every. Like
all 4 or 5 of the comments were for Sharon. I feel like this one's going to be pretty like lopsided back and forth, because Cutie Panther is one of the most is the most iconic subunit song. I don't think there's a question for that.
Got Psychic Fire up there too.
Psychic Fire is like pretty high tier, but Cutie Panther when it comes to iconic Love Live songs, like that's the only one that can make the list. That's a subunit song. That song is just so tremendously iconic. But we'll have to see down below what everybody thinks.
So you ready to call it a week?
Yeah. I think we got everything wrapped up.
All right, great. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Have a great night. Okay.
See you guys next week.